Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gabor Apollo here with Option Pit and another fantastic Wednesday that we're getting ready to go over our watch list. Just curious, let me see in the chat where everybody's from to get us started off here. Coming from Baltimore, Maryland, that would be me. Originally from Philly, though, so a little bit out of place. Where's everybody from in the chat? Looks like we don't have a talkative bunch right now, so I'll wait for them to come in. Okay, we got one from Vegas, Don. I'll keep letting them roll in. So just curious, anybody see what happened today in the market, specifically around 2 o'clock with the Fed talk? We had a nice spike of nearly 40 points in the XS or SPX from about 642 all the way up to 680, and I think it settled at 684. So a crazy day in the market for those. We did have Oracle miss earnings today, barely, but it did get pummeled for it. So that was some other big news that we did see going on today in the market. And then I don't know if anyone saw, did anyone see that oil's looking to dip under $50 a barrel here? Analysts are predicting that we could see by the beginning of 2027 barrels going for $30 a barrel. So we would have an oil crash here. That would be something that would be unexpected, but also might help us here on the home front. All right, so we got Virginia, Vegas, Maryland. Perfect. More importantly, did anybody see the squeeze that came on OI? Well, luckily for you, you guys are tuned in today, so I'm going to be able to go over that squeeze and how we took advantage of it today, or at least how I took advantage of it. So let me just get started here. Might as well, since we're all up in the room. There's no sense in waiting. Give me a moment. So I'm sure most of you know that there are constantly squeezes that are happening in the market every single day, whether it's a short squeeze or a mechanical short squeeze. They happen daily, and we're able to pinpoint them every single day to take advantage of them in the market, whether we're playing it on the option side or the stock side. These are constantly happening, and we're able to take advantage of it simply because we have the tools and we have our AI engine that's able to analyze it and give us the best possible trade. Now, this is just a couple of the winning trades that we've been able to get in and get out of in our AI engine for Alpha AI. So as you can see, I just knocked out OI today. Actually, that should be updated because today at about 3:45, I did have an execute on my sell for 90 cents for 165% return on OI today. That was something that was unexpected. I was actually in a parent-teacher meeting, and boom, closed the trade for 165% winner. We had ULCC last week. We were able to take for 114%, LAES for 230, Goss for 33%, Run we knocked out for 30.4, WVE, and the list just goes on. If you just look here, you can see we had PAC-B 175. And then you'll see some familiar names. LAES again, because the scanner just doesn't limit us to one trade on that particular time. It's able to get us in and out multiple times on multiple different trade entries on multiple different options. So we're able to take advantage of that. So you can see LAES in for 2 days at 50 cents. And then right below it, we have another trade on LAES where we got in at a cheaper price on a different option and took advantage of it getting out for a 230% gain. And here we go again. We had SPCE. SPCE was a monster last week. We were able to get in and out of that in roughly 24 hours. That closed for us, and I was actually able to roll my existing call contracts into contracts that are going to expire in 2 more weeks on top of that. So I was able to extend my trade on that after already 100% winner. And that was something I learned from here in the AI engine with Alpha AI and Mark. You can see LAES again, different strike price at 20 or different entry price at 20 cents. MIST, a nice 93% turn in 61 days. And you can see AREC, we got into that trade and it was 41 days, but we were still able to make a 60% profit roughly, or 58.8. Now let's meet the gentleman here who helped create this, who helped to design this to help us take advantage of these daily short squeezes that we see in and out of the market every single day. Mark Sebastian, he's an ex-market maker at the CBOE. He's been trading for 20 years. And the cool thing that I really love about Option Pit, and more importantly with Mark, is he's in these trades with us. So he has skin in the game. I can tell you that a lot of other competitors do not have skin in the game when we're doing these trades. I'm actively trading with my own money, so I have skin in the game. So it doesn't work out, I'm not a happy camper. So we are actively always trying to make the trades work, whether it is adding another tripwire, which I'll get into later, or we're simply just trying to make the service better by adding an individual like me to help you guys out on the daily. So Mark spent quite a bit of money trying to develop this scanner, and this scans a number of different stocks that are under $20 a share. And I believe it's actually right around 400 stocks it scans for the market every single day. Now, I'm sure some of you probably know, but Mark's first big trade that he actually made was on a short squeeze, which I found very interesting when I was talking to him about it. It was on NFI, which claimed bankruptcy, no longer exists. But when he was a market maker, I don't know how many of you know, but when you're a market maker, your job is to make the market, hence the name market maker, for about 40 to 50 stocks. So you are locked in on those stocks. You can only see those stocks and trade those stocks. Well, Mark was trading one day, making the market, and he happened to see a number of orders coming in to buy back this stock NFI. So as Mark started seeing these orders come in, the stock price started to come up, and he saw these shorts getting killed. So it was the shorts that were covering. So Mark took advantage of it, and in 2006 had his best day ever, making nearly $1 million, actually over $1 million in the market. And if you look at that stock price for NFI, it went all the way up to $70 a share that year. And that's how Mark was actually able to make his first $1 million trade, which I find it quite ironic that he's making this AI mechanical scanner that we're able to analyze to find all these short squeezes in the market. And let alone Mark's first trade that he made $1 million on was a short squeeze, which just goes to show Mark is able to find these, and he's able to help us analyze to find these mechanical short squeezes, like I said, that happen nearly every day in the market. So this was closed out last week. I still have one contract running on it, and so does the team here at Alpha AI and the engine. We currently closed this position a little while ago for a 93% return, but we have one hanging out. Mark told us to close most of them, but we were able to close a majority and ride one out. So you can see here on our scanner on 11/14, it pinged us for MIST. I'm willing to bet that no one had seen this stock. Nobody knew what it did. We don't know what it does. We didn't care. We just knew that the short squeeze was on. And then it told us the exact option to take advantage of, which you can see here at 250 calls on December, that expire on December 19th. We were able to get it at 45 cents. And as of yesterday, they did hit as high as 93. I think currently the position that we have right now is up 66%, but I was able to close out for a 94% return so far in the 3 contracts I closed out and still have one riding. And even last week, we also caught on, or the week prior to that, we caught on to run. So we had an 11:10 scan that came across, and it gave us the scanner. We see it hit multiple times. Mark told us to get in to buy the 1950 calls for it on 11/28. We were able to take advantage of that, and we were able to, let me go back real quick, and we were able to close out of a winner on those. Sorry about that. And we were actually able to close out on the winner, which you saw on the testimonial side, for a nice 60% return. And that was almost in 2.5 weeks that trade took for it to fully develop for us here on the short squeeze. But this is what we're here for. It gives us all the tripwires that tell us when these short squeezes are happening, how we're able to implement them and take advantage of them daily in the market. And then this was the last week in October, we caught Ranny. Ranny was a nice triple-digit return we had. On the 27th, it told us to buy the November 7th 250 calls. The scanner ran. On 10/27, Ranny was trading at $1.80. As you can see where I pointed it out here, it was trading at $1.80 a share. And then by the time we were out of the trade, it was already in the money, and we're able to take advantage of it in the market. As you see this green line coming straight up. That was the buy signal. We were already in at that point, and the short squeeze was on. Now, some of you are wondering, how were we able to analyze and find these squeezes in the markets? Mark's built this AI engine that's able to anticipate the short squeeze. It uses 4 points of confirmation. Normally, when somebody's trying to analyze the short squeeze, whether it's with a MACD or VWAP or the Bollinger Bands, they only have 1 point that they're looking at. They're not finding multiple points like we are. They're simply looking at one thing, volume. Whereas this blows it all out of the water because it has all of it, and it tells you the exact trade to make. And Mark confirms it, and he even may give you a better trade on top of that. You automatically get the alerts of the exact option trade to buy, and we target for 100% profit. So as soon as we hit the entry order, we then enter our sell orders to double it. So if it was $1 to get in, we're selling it at $2, and we walk away, just like I did at my parent-teacher conference. I closed the trade for 165% without even paying attention. So these squeezes happen daily. With our 4 points of confirmation in our tripwires, we're able to take advantage of this and know when the short squeeze is actually coming. So this is something I just touched on. How are we missing these? How were traders never finding these? I can tell you that I had no idea that they happened this often until I was using the engine, and it's literally telling me what to trade, when to trade it, and how to buy it with the option price. We're not able to even spot the squeeze when we know it's happening because it just happens so quick. The other thing that I just pointed out was you're probably using the wrong system, whether it's another scanner telling you to buy because the short float's high, or it's the MACD, or you're trading off of VWAP, which is good if you're trading that day. These short squeezes, we're getting in before they actually pop so that we're actually able to get in at a much lower price. And we're not using multiple tools or scanners. We have one tool, our AI engine, that's able to take advantage of that. So if you're late to the game, you can still ride it up on a day and make a couple percent, but you've already missed the hundreds and thousands of percent return that you could have had earlier had you had the engine, which is something that we're going to address here shortly. So you can see right here, we have our dates of our engine that it's scanning. Here's Beyond Meat. Now this was a big one for us. It's telling us to buy the $1.50 calls for Beyond Meat. Now you can see here, Beyond Meat was trading at under 80 cents a share, and it's telling us to buy the $1.50 calls. Now you don't know what any of these mean, but the Tripwire 1 was at 10.41%. Tripwire 2 was giving us a green arrow, and Tripwire 3 was giving us the number 4. And I'll go over what all those mean here. But this was what we knew and how we knew to buy this trade and take advantage of it in the market. We knew exactly on October 14th that we were going to get in Beyond Meat on that option contract. And even later last week, or 2 weeks ago, we were able to catch in on Pack B. And we see here the November 21st, $3 calls. This is what we finally closed out on. October 23rd, we bought the Pack B calls for 20 cents and we sold for 40 cents. So we bought for 20 cents. This is when we bought, right around here. Let it go down a little bit and then popped right back up, and we were able to sell for 100% return. Easy. Told us what exact contract to buy on the call side, and we were able to take advantage of that. Now, this is really what I wanted to get into with Beyond Meat. Here's when we were notified of the short squeeze on the 14th. Right here, we can see the 14th came out. We just had that screen up. Beyond Meat on October 14th, $1.50 calls were at 7 cents a contract. So right here. By the 21st, those $1.50 calls, because Beyond Meat had squeezed all the way up to $3.80, those contracts were at 3. Those contracts were up to $3. So it went from 7 cents to $3. You're looking at a 4,186% return. A measly $100 investment turned into nearly $5,000 overnight, $41.48. If you put $1,000 in, do the math, $41,000 plus. And that's just on one scan. That's just on one trade that it gave us. And this is something that we saw well before VWAP, well before Bollinger Bands, well before MACD. We were able to take advantage of it. And this is real money because Mark and I are in the game. We have it ourselves. We have LES. We got in right here at 20 cents, and we are out right here at 55 for 175% return. This was one that we were able to take advantage of a week and a half ago with our Honest Company. On 11/7, the 11/21 250 calls were at 19 cents a contract. As you can see here, I sold 3 of the contracts when the price of the stock had come up all the way to $2.81. Remember, we were getting 250 calls. It was at 281. I sold on the way up, so I was able to nab 64 and 89% return. And then we had last week as well, OTLK, and we are still in this trade, by the way. We bought the 11/18, or on 11/18, we bought the December 19th $3 calls, or $3 calls is actually what we took advantage of, not the 250. And now we're prepared and ready for the squeeze. And currently it is just under $3 a share. And we still have some time for that. So I'm really excited for that squeeze to happen next week. So we've seen what these squeezes can do on Beyond Meat, LES, Honest Company. We've seen Wave, and we saw these spikes. But how are we knowing to get in on these? At what point in time? What is making it easier for us to take advantage of it? It's plain and simple. It's these short squeezes are happening with too many institutional traders. They're shorting one side of it. They're betting on the stock to go down. They think it's going to fail, which is what we saw with Beyond Meat. And that's why we had that huge spike, because everybody was short on it and betting against it, and they had to cover their own butts. The market gets overweighted to one side, and there's not enough to go around to where it's even. So the traders that were shorting it now have to buy back the stock to cover their loss, which causes the stock to shoot higher and higher and higher because they have to hedge themselves. So that is what causes these short squeezes, and they happen on a daily. We are literally getting almost a trade a day, if not more, and we're able to really fine-tune which ones are going to take advantage of in the market. So let's walk through R4 Tripwire system verification that is going to enable you to take advantage of in the market with our AI engine. And just to give you a heads up, since we've added the 4th Tripwire, I've closed a total of 7 winning trades, not 1 loser, since we've added the fourth Tripwire. 7 winning trades, not 1 loser. And I'll even prove that to you and show you the cash and show you the track record of my own here shortly. So I want to go over Tripwire 1, which is our biggest one. That's our put demand indicator. This is going to indicate how much puts are bet against our stock. So this is essentially the shorting of the stock. This is a percentage that's telling us that people think that this is going to go down in value. So they're buying puts or shorting the stock. So we have to make sure this put demand is above 10%. So as you can see here, this company Play at the very top, that's how high the short demand is. It's at 1,127%. BMNU 161. Here's LAES that we've been able to take advantage of several times at 28 points. So a lot of people think that stock's going to go down. So as long as it's above 10%, step 1 is complete. We're ready to take advantage of it in the market as long as it hits the other tripwires. So Tripwire 1, put demand is at 10% or higher. Tripwire 2. Tripwire 2 is going to indicate once the put demand gets high, the stock starts going against the grain. So typically, if a company is being shorted, it's going to go down in value. However, in this case, if it's going up in value, that is good. That means that the short squeeze Tripwire 2 has hit, and there's a green arrow indicating that Tripwire 2 is hit. So we've now had 1 and 2, and we're able to get ready to start to analyze this to take advantage of it in the market because it is going against the grain. It's not going down. The stock is continuing to go up even though the shorts are piling on. So Tripwire 2, we look for a green arrow. What color arrow are we looking for in Tripwire 2, ladies and gentlemen? Put it in the chat, excuse me. Come on. Green. We're looking for green, people. The arrow must turn green. Now, Tripwire 3. This is a measurement of our stock volume. This will indicate if the stock volume is ticking up, which is what we need, and that's key. That means not only are the investors like us taking advantage of it, now having to cover their bet, and they are having to buy back in on the stock. So Tripwire 3 measures the volume, the average volume, to make sure that we are above that and to make sure that we're going higher and higher in the volume. This is something that you can spot on your own, but you're constantly have to look at it and measure it, whereas ours simply tells us volume's ticking up. We're getting ready to pass our average volume. We get another green arrow. Now, Tripwire 4. Tripwire 4 is the frequency of which 1 and 2 hit. So 1, we need to have our put demand above 10%. And 2, we need to have the stock go against the norm. So it needs to be going up in value, not down with the put demand going high. So as long as those are hitting 3+ times, we'll be able to take advantage of that trade as long as we have the volume going up. If the volume's going down with that happening, it ain't going to hit the scanner. So ULCC, it gave us the recommendation on November 12th to buy the December 19th, 2025 $4 ladder. As you can see highlighted over here, it gave us the $6 calls. Mark looked at the open interest on that, and there wasn't a whole lot of open interest, so we wanted to make sure that we were able to get in and out of the trade. So we got in on the $4 calls, and we're able to make a killing on this trade. It gave us this trade, so we got the $4 calls at 50 cents. He instituted the sell alert right away, telling us to sell at 100. You could have sat it and forgot it. As you can see, we got in on 11.12 at 50 cents. By 12.2, we were at 85 cents. And as of 2 days ago, you would have closed out for 100% return. Already hit that. So this was a very good trade that we had come out. And this scan came out. And I'm willing to bet not a whole lot of you knew that ULCC was going to be into a squeeze. The shorts were against it. Our engine came up and told us what contract to buy. Mark confirmed and got us into a better contract that we were able to get in and out of. And boom, within 2.5 weeks, we were able to walk away with an average return of about 75% for me. Mark averaged out at 100% because he held. So you have your own that you can do. And then again, here we go. I just want to go over this right here. 11.12, it was at 50 cents. 12.3, exited again at 110 for 114%. So here's the option contract. I'm literally showing you the proof in the pudding. It's gotten as high as $1.55. So if you still have a contract, you've gone from 50 cents to $1.55. So a 200% return, over 200% return on this. It's a hell of a trade. We had MIST come across our scanner, which we are still in. We had MIST come across the scanner December 19th, telling us to buy the $2 calls or 250 calls. On November 14th, it told us to buy the 250 calls. Again, Mark analyzed this, was in it with us, told us, hey, the open interest is not high enough. I want to get us into trades that we can get in and out. So he jumped it down to the $2 calls at 65 cents. As you can see, one. Last time I checked, 50 is bigger than 10. So we have that hit. It's moving against the grain. So put demands at 51%. It's going up in value. So the stock is going against the grain and going green. We have volume creeping, and we had 11 confirmations of 1 and 2 hitting simultaneously. And you can see it right here. On 11/14, the $2 calls range from 50 cents to 60. Mark had a don't get in until I think it was under 50 cents. Everybody was able to get in. You could have got in a little bit cheaper later on, I think at 48 cents, but who's counting? And currently, it's at above $1 a contract on those. So we're already at 100%, and it's been bouncing around 70 to 100% the last 2 days. I think this I drew earlier, so it might be down at about 85 to 95 cents right now, but still sitting there right in that area. We're green. We have one contract holding still because as that time decay starts to happen with this stock well above that $2 price point, we're going to start to look really pretty next week when it's squeezing more. TMC, this hit on Black Friday, 11/28. TMC, as you can see here, we got the 750 calls hit not once, but twice. On 11/28, it told us to buy the December 12th 750 calls. Let's look at the arrows. Now, this is why we have Mark in the room with us. This is why Option Pit has me in there with us to help you all out and understanding these trades. Is this put demand high? It's not high enough. However, Mark was looking at this and he still liked the short interest on the side of things. The stock was still going up. The volume was squeezing and it hit this confirmation 6 times. It was telling us to buy the stock. Mark wanted the option. So that's where Mark came up and told us to buy the option at 55 cents with a target sell for 100% return at $1.10. This trade was quick. We were in at 40 cents, out at 95 cents within 2 days. I believe currently it's sitting at $1.22. So if you still have TMC contracts, congratulations. Mark told us to get out. A number of us got out. We took advantage of a nice triple-digit return that we are accustomed to in the service. Now, this one's OI. This hit the scanner. It's not going to be in the track record or portfolio. This is something that I traded on my own, which this engine enables you to do. You're able to take these trades on your own. You can take other trades. You're not limited to what Mark's telling you. You can take other trades if you like them as well. So I will analyze a trade as well and take advantage of it on my own, as long as it has the scanner input on it. So you can see here on 11/17, OI had OI came across our scanner. Trip 1, the put demand was at 18.2%. We had our trip 2 come across, which showed that the stock was going up in value. Volume was going up, and we had our 6th confirmation. It was telling us to buy the 14 calls at the best price. This was at 1041. Now, I took advantage of this trade. I was able to get into this trade. I'm still in. Actually, no, I just got stopped out. I'll show you right where I did. So on 12/3, I was able to exit at 50% return or 105% return for 68 cents at 34 contract. My final contract I sold today, as you can see there, for $165. That was the trade that I was literally in the parent-teacher conference. I was already up in the green, so I had a price target on there. I was like, if it hits 90 cents, I'm out. We're good. Sure enough, my phone vibrates. Look down. Charles Schwab told me I just sold a contract for 90 cents on OI. So I knew that I hit that target, and I walked away with a little bit more Christmas money. So who's not going to love that during the season? And here's the proof. If you didn't believe me, right down here, OI 12/19/2025, $14 call. I closed today for 165%. So anybody who's doubting that we're actually using our own money, there you go. That's from my Schwab account. Up to this point, we've seen how mechanical short squeezes are very common on these under $20 stocks. However, no one really knows how to get into them or trade them. No one knows when they're going to happen. Our engine is able to anticipate the squeeze. It's able to target triple-digit turns. You have a market maker in Mark there every step of the way who's walking you through this, holding your hand and making sure that we're getting into the best optimized trades. We added our fourth tripwire. Beforehand, we only had 3 tripwires and we were getting so many trades. Mark needed to calm it down. So we added a fourth tripwire on there, our volume indicator, which has enabled us to nab 7 winning trades in a row. I closed 2 today, which is why it only says 5 on there still. 7 winning trades in a row. And the best part, I'm willing to say that 95% of them are $75 or less. If you're trading with a small account, this is right up your alley. You can do these trades. They're simple calls, just buying to open a call. And every single one of them is under $75 a contract, roughly. There are a couple that we've got into that have been 89 cents, 90 cents. However, large majority of them you saw were at 50 cents, 34 cents a contract. And we were able to take advantage of these day in and day out. So let's pull up my track record real quick. Come on. All right. Do you need me to make that bigger? Let me know in the chat if you need me to make it bigger. I know that I've gotten a couple complaints here in the past about it not being zoomed in enough. Okay. That should pull things in a little bit tighter. Let's go to 150. Okay. So currently, as you can see, I've been trading this. I'm tracking this as well. I have 2 separate accounts that I'm trading this in. I'll get into in a minute. I have in my one account, since I've been trading this for 5 weeks, 14 wins, 6 losses, currently up $837. The reason you see that's only up $837, I'm proving that this can be done with a small account. All of my trades I've been getting into, I have put in no more than about $200 in every single one of these trades. And I've been able to get myself up $837, which is well more than the subscription cost for a quarter. So I was able to, or for a month, excuse me. So I was able to take advantage of that. You can see here, here's the MIST trade. I was in at 44. I have one more rider sitting in there, currently up about 85 to 77%. It's been floating in there all day. Here's the run trade I went over. TTI, remember how I said those trades are under $75? Right there, you could have bought 4 contracts for under $100, and you would have been able to walk away with 127% winner. It's not too bad. Honest Company closed out here. I wish I wouldn't have sold this prematurely because it did bounce back on me. Mark and the others, they made another 100% return on it. I did not, but I was able to grab 31%. STNE, 88%, as you can see there with the big winner at 187.5 on the final contract from 40 to $1.15. And these are constantly happening with our squeezes. Our engine's constantly pulling these up. Pack B. I went over that. That was at 91% for myself. I'm all about taking money off the table when I have a winning trade, especially if I have the contracts open to do it. And here's WV. This was a monster for us. This had been down the whole time. We were losing on that trade, and then the squeeze turned around, and boom, we went from 66 to 96. I sold one at 45%, and then the squeeze just picked up from there, and we were at $2 a contract, 223 and 230% return. It was a great trade. LAES, this was actually when I first started trading the service. So I was getting myself comfortable, took 16% on that. UPXY, I did have a winner in the very beginning, held one contract thinking that I could get higher. It never did. Ended up taking 11% loss. DPRO, another loss. Then you have Randy, $5 calls, in at 12, out at 22, in at 12, out at 24 for 100% return. Here's the Beyond Meat trade. I missed this trade. I didn't get into it, but this just goes to show I got into it the stock started to skyrocket. So they got in on the 14th. I got in on the 22nd. So they got in a full week before me. I bought the same calls that they did. Look what I bought them at. I bought them at $3.19. Every other member that had been in the AI engine prior got in at 7 cents. I got in at $3.19. And I was able to close these trades for 8% in one day. It was a day trade. Here's Ranny, the 250 calls. I was able to pocket another 140% return. B-Fly, loss. HMY, loss. ULCC, which you guys just saw. I'm able to average out 79% on that trade with my final contract at 105. OI, here it is. This is the one I just went over. In at 34, out at 70, 70, 60, 75. Final contract out at 90. And then GOSS, still an open trade, by the way, up 33%, took it off to get out. So I have a free trade riding on the books right now. And as you can see, currently my total returns, I'm up 630% since I've been with this product in 5.2 weeks, 630%, averaging 33% per trade. Now, I'll be completely honest. I never knew that this many squeezes happened on a daily and that something like this could be spotted. So this service and this engine has really made my life easy because I just listen for a ding, go look at the screen, see what it is while I'm working, bing, bang, boom, put the order in, and I'm out. Have everything set up, and then I'm done. So as you can see here, 837 up, 14 wins, 6 losses. Now, here's the other account that I started. This account was started once we added our 4th tripwire, and I've been trading in larger lots. I'm buying 10 contracts in this. So as you can see, this one I've only been in for 3.5 weeks, but I'm up for nearly the cost of the service in God knows how long for that membership. But as you can see here, I have 2 contracts still open, but I average 71%. Run, got out winner, losers, winners, closed for 2 losses, minus 15%. Honest Company, able to take 73%. ZVRA, unfortunate little loss at 5% down. STNE, 81%. ULCC, a big one right here at 72%. TMC, which we're still in, by the way. I still have 3 open contracts in right now, and I'm still up. I believe it's up 30% as of today. And then here's Space. This is the one I was telling you about. I was able to get in and roll my final 2 contracts over to the $5 calls from the $4.50 from the $4 calls. And I was able to get in at a very cheap price. So I was very happy about that. But I made 87% return so far on that. And now these contracts don't expire until 12/19. And then here's the OI trade. OI in at 34 cents. As you can see here, when you have more contracts to work with, let's just see something real quick. So this trade right here, if you buy 10 contracts, it was $306, turned into $670. Walked away with enough to go buy some Christmas gifts for the grandkids. just on that one trade. And here's Goss right here, 35, 40, and out at 45. Now you can see the total returns here, 556%. I'm averaging 69.52. And now I know some of you are looking at probably, Gabe, there's not a lot of losses on that side. Yes, I know, because that's when Mark added the fourth tripwire, which has mitigated a number of these false screens that we were seeing, so that we're able to take advantage of it in the market. And don't just take me for it. You can see it when you're in our chat. You're able to notice and see all the winning trades that not just myself, not Mark, but everybody's taking advantage of. You had Vicky with Beyond Meat. Again, they took advantage of it and crushed it. I didn't get as high of a price or high of a winning percent on that, but that Beyond Meat trade was great for them. As you can see, here's Jephthah talking about the ULCC trade that we were able to get advantage of. TMC for a profit, which I just showed you. That just happened this past week. Nicola, I'm going for MIST again. Closed the first for 50% on 11.18. $5 calls, still holding at 23, looking good. And here's Vicky, buy to open the IQs, $2 calls, closed most at 100%. Right now they're at 12. We had Hilltop Steve have a monster win on well. Carlton right here, nice trade on ULCC, which I already went over with you. This is just trading simple calls and simple puts. We're able to analyze this and give you every tool you need, everything to implement the trade, so there's no second guessing. You're in, you're out, and bing, bang, boom. Taking advantage of the market. Oh, here we go. Carlton again on the SPCE trade, in at 15 out of 34 on the 450 calls. Now, here's the watch list for tomorrow. We didn't have any come on it. Let me just go back real quick. We didn't have any come on, I believe. Let me just double check for us. Let's look at the engine real quick. Okay, we actually do have two watch lists. We have AGNC is on our watch list for tomorrow. That is Alpha, Gregory, Norman, Charlie, AGNC. And we also have, how is that? HBAN, Hector, Bravo, Alpha, Nate, HBAN. We have those two on our watch list for tomorrow. So we're going to be watching those potentially for another squeeze opportunity. So we'll have those sitting on there ready to take advantage of it. So with all of this, you're going to try to wonder, you have two choices on how to figure out when these squeezes are happening. I've tried it with swaggy stocks, surfing Reddit, trying to find these squeezes like GameStop, because that's the big one that everybody knows about. So everybody's in Wall Street bets now. So you can either do that, or you can commit to this full-fledged plan with Alpha AI and learn how to take advantage of all these squeezes that are happening daily. These mechanical short squeezes that we're constantly getting into, with anywhere from 1 recommendation to 3 recommendations in a day, sometimes more. And then you have bonus trades that you can do on your own. So those are the options you have so that you're not missing out on these trades before it's too late. Now, with our membership, the bonuses that you get are unbelievable because they help you out understanding the trading process. You get our AI bootcamp so that you will learn how to trade with our engine and you won't second guess yourself. You'll learn the tripwires. It's supposed to be 1 through 4, not 1 through 3. You'll learn the tripwire so that you know what you're looking for, so that you can get in and out on your own and not wait for Mark. You can wait for Mark and do the trades and then take advantage of the other trades as well. But we'll go over on how to buy a stock, how to buy an option, and we'll walk you through on all the skills that you'll need to develop as a better option trader than you already are. And that's available as soon as the purchase goes through. You're able to get into that right away. Bonus 2 is the head fakes, 5 quality stocks to buy. You'll be able to get those stocks. Those are just 5 buy and hold stocks with a projected price already listed in there. AREC, we've ridden that quite a bit already. RCAT, we actually just got into a trade on that here recently, which is a great trade. And these are stocks that we think are going to squeeze at any point in time. Stocks are under $10, and we're going to be holding these for longer term squeeze investments. The advanced squeeze techniques. This is a pretty big bonus because this is going to go over things to do, like, for example, rolling your trade, which I just did for the first time this week on SPCE. You're going to master the art of squeezing both ways on pops, whether it is a call or a put. So master the squeeze on the way up with a call, buying puts when it's going to pop on the way down. This masterclass is taught by Andrew Giovinazzi, and he'll teach you on all the techniques with hedging, two-way profits, which is rolling, and timing the downside so that you know when to get out of the squeeze as well as when to buy the puts so that you're able to make double the money. So if you're targeting 3 to 5x your count in a year, the advanced squeeze technique is an easy way to do that because you're able to multiply those squeezes by taking the ride up and on the ride down. Now, the momentum class, this is where you're able to learn with our live class where we teach you on how to close out your positions, how to keep a flyer, leg out, so you understand that. So the momentum class is going to teach you when we're up. Let's just set the screen right now. We wrote it to a triple-digit return, and we wrote it on the momentum of the short squeeze. So if you bought 3 contracts, you'd want to sell one at 100%, if not 2, and let the other one ride and continue to sell on the way up. So you probably have, to be honest, if you had 3 contracts, you'll have it set up to sell 2 at 100% return and let the last one ride out and monitor that. Probably put in a hard stop to protect yourself, and we address that with you and tell you how to trade that. Best part about this is it comes with our 100% guarantee. You have 14 days with this where you have me, you have Mark, the wizard behind it. The wizard behind the squeeze, going over all these trades, going over when to get in, when to get out, and really addressing the different types of squeezes that we're seeing every single day. And you have a full 14 days to analyze this, which is more than enough time because you will see returns in that time frame. And if you're not seeing returns in that time frame, it's because we've bought them a little further out, which is completely fine. Just completely fine. Just look in the chat. You'll see the chat going crazy over the returns that we've been able to take so far. So you're able to get with our Alpha AI membership, directs the access to the membership. You get the live ongoing data calculations, which is our tripwire scanner. So you get the Alpha AI scanner so that you can scan for 400 different stocks, giving you a number of different trades, whether it's the stock or the option, the exact option to buy. You'll also get the audio alerts, which literally, if you're sitting at your desk working, let's just say if you are working from home, and you are doing this and you're trading, you'll hear a little ping go off. You go look at your screen, it tells you what to do. You then go and implement the trade. You're in, you're out, it's over. You'll get the advanced notice trade alerts, which are push notifications, text notifications, etc. You have access to the chat room, which the chat room is underutilized. You can ask questions in there. You have a number of different resources of good traders in there that will help and answer questions for you to walk you through it so you can take advantage of it. You have our weekly meetings with Mark, which are every Tuesday at 12:30, where Mark goes over the current open portfolio, closed portfolio trades, what trades we're putting on, and how we're going to trade for the next upcoming week with these squeezes. You get the Alpha AI rules, which go over on when not to implement a trade, when to implement trades, why we don't trade certain ETFs, etc. The short squeeze course, which is a great tool. It's going to teach you all about the squeezes. And then the best part is with this, you have Mark in there trading with you. He has your back. He's got money in the game. He's trading these trades too. So it's not something that's simple. You get all of that. If you wanted for the 1-year membership, you're able to take advantage of for $19.99. And for a quarter, you're able to get $9.99. And as you just saw with me trading on the small account, I've nearly already paid for 1 quarter. And if I upped my amount of trading to $300 a trade, I'm already at nearly the 1 year of Alpha AI. And that gets me to scanner so I can scan on my own, take advantage of these trades on my own, and I'm able to work through the market. So you get all of those for $19.99 a year, which is discounted from $6,000. The scanner alone runs for $6,000. The scanner alone runs for $6,000 a year because of how it can be utilized. It is an unbelievable tool that gives you the exact option symbol to buy, the exact time to buy before the squeeze actually starts to pop and you're too late to the game. So a couple of FAQs I did want to go over. Let me pull that up real quick. So a couple of FAQs. How much do I need to trade this service effectively? So to trade this service effectively, you probably need roughly anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 in cash in your trading account to trade this effectively. Because you can trade this by just buying one contract to start, which is perfectly fine. That's how I started. I was buying one contract until I got comfortable with it, and then I started buying 3. And as you saw in my smaller account, I've continued to stay with that logic of buying 3 to 4 contracts, keeping my trades under $125 a contract. And I was able to net $176 in 5.2 weeks. What kind of trades will I be executing? These trades are the simplest of trades to execute. They are just call options. You are buying to open a call. We're not doing naked puts, no iron condors, none of that. Just buying to open a call, or you're just going to buy the stock outright because the stock's so darn cheap. And we're getting ready for that. The typical hold time, we've seen on here, it happen where we're out in 48 hours, 24 hours, 8 hours. We've also seen these hold times. We're buying these options about 30 days out, 28 days to be exact out. And we're typically probably holding on average around 17 days. Is this day trading? No. You can turn it into day trading if you want to. You'll see me in the chat going over day trades that I'm doing using it because you can use this AI engine on your own to day trade. Do I need to be logged into the chat all day? Absolutely not. I'm logged in all day just because it's part of my job, but I don't follow the chat that often. I have other stuff going on that I'm attending to, and I'll roll back, look at something, go back to my regular whatever I may be doing, and get back to it. So you do not need to be logged in all day, which I think is a common misconception. What's coming tomorrow? So we already went over those names that are popping already. So you have AGNC, you have HBAN, and remember to tune in. We're going to be able to take advantage of this tomorrow. So once you sign up, click the link, which Drew's going to drop in the chat. Click the link, give us a call. We'll get you up and running, and we're going to be able to take you through how to get into these trades. As you can see, we have IRBT, KOS, HBAN, AGNC on our watch list for tomorrow. And we're going to be able to take advantage of that tomorrow, and we're going to address that with all of our new members in the chat. So again, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat right now so I can start to answer them. Yes, there is a link. Let me get the link to you real quick. There you go, I'm sure. And then you can also give us a phone call. Call Drew, which is also on that link. You can call Drew, answer the questions. He can actually walk you through, as well as any of our other reps that we have. We can walk you through how to implement these trades and walk you through using the AI engine. So if you have any questions, give us a call at 1-888-872-3301. And we'll be able to help you out. Click the link right there, and we'll be able to walk you through. Give Drew a call. I'm sure we can definitely fix that for you. It should say $19.99. Thanks there, Mark. Anybody have any other questions? Any other questions? Sorry, just trying to look in the chat, see if I can get you a different order form to use. Give me a moment. Anybody else have dogs that are just so needy besides myself? So Alpha AI, come and join us in the room. $19.99 for the year, $9.99 for the quarter. We're able to get you in. You have that full trial period where you can take advantage of it to really analyze how you're going to follow along in the market. You have everybody in the room, like myself, who's going to be able to help you out. Here you go, I'm sure. There you go. You'll have everybody in the room who's going to be able to help you out. You'll not only have myself, you have Mark every day in there. You have Vic in there as well. Oh no, that's still the wrong price. And we'll be able to get you in there. I'm sure if you're still having issues, give that number a call so that Drew can help you out, and we'll be able to walk you through. If you're still having issues or you have any other questions, please just drop it in the chat, and I'll be able to respond to those and help you guys get situated. Without further, you guys have a great night, and look forward to talking to you all. Have a good one.